every day's just as sky, the moon will rise with the shining eyes. Every night's just as wise. Every night's just as wise. Sun goes down in the western sky. The moon will rise with the shining eyes. Every night's just as wise. Every night's just as wise. Up in the eastern sky, old wind blows by and by. Every day's just as wise. Every day's just as wise. Sun goes down in the western sky. The moon will rise with the shining eyes. Every night's just as wise. Every night's just as
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back. Let me take a drink to this. I'll toast to that. Welcome back. What's going on, chat? How y'all doing, man? Let's see. How y'all doing in the chat? Um, we back. It's been a couple weeks. Been getting some things together really for July. If you are viewing, I hope these weeks were good to you. If they weren't, we could get together and work some out, right? There's nothing wrong with uh unity when it comes to making sure that we're all good, especially spiritually, right? Um, because there's a lot of things going on in the air um that we can heal together, right? A lot of sickness in the air. Now, let's go ahead and start off whooping ass. I want to deal with the troll first. This is somebody whose ass I kicked a long time ago. Um, and they're hiding behind the computer screen. Now, this is what's important. I need everybody to look at this comment. Uh, HGF, right? We gonna call you hot girl fuck nigga, HGF. I was Indian before I was Nuwapian. I was Indian before I was Nuwapian. I knew my ceremonies and practiced my tradition before I was Nuwapian. I knew Eagle Joe before I ever heard of a Dr. York. So when people tend to come on my posts and they mention Dr. York, what they're telling me is they have nothing else to talk about when it comes to me. So they say, well, he was Nuwapian. Nigga, and what? And fucking what? And you know what you are? You's a bitch. And this is why we blocking you. Get out of here. Go make another page to talk shit. Let's clear that up. Let's see what else. Niggas want to, oh, he was Nuwapian. He was Nuwapian. Nigga with blood too. So what's the issue? I'm a Mason too. What's the issue? Nobody who ever has anything to say about that shit has ever met me in the flesh. So there's one thing I need you all to know. You are who you are before any attachments. This is why I wrote the book called Who You Are, Not What You Accept, based off what I was taught. And then if you read my book and you read what I was taught, you'll see they completely opposite. So when niggas like to mention Dr. York, they don't know what type of work I put in for them, and they don't know the conflict that happened because my teachings are slightly different, right? A lot of people they tend to hate uh, let me let me check my mic real quick. I want to make sure y'all can hear me through the headphones. All right. So if y'all can
Yeah,
hear me, put a are we good? All right, perfect. So back to what I was saying. I was an Indian before I became a Christian at the age of 8 when I was baptized. I was an Indian before I became Nuwapian at the age of 20. I was Indian before I was entered into the degree of the entered apprentice, passed into the degree of fellow craft, and raised into the sublime degree of master mason. I was an Indian then. So to say, well, he's an ex-Nuwapian. No, fuck, nigga. I'm still Nuwapian by study. That's what you don't get. Malachi York will always be one of my master teachers. Dr. Ben will always be one of my master teachers. Infantdici Jehudimus will always be one of my master teachers. These and the first and the latter are people that I actually dealt with. See what a lot of niggas are afraid of, right? Hiyoko cuz was good. A lot of people, right? They're afraid of being attached to other things because that truly defines who they are. Being Nuwapian never defined me. Being a Mason doesn't define me. Being blood doesn't define me. You strip all that shit away, I'm a fucking man. But the person that commented, he's a bitch. His wife works 50 hours a day while he sit at home on the computer. We will never be the same. I just started my live an hour late because I just took my baby on a shopping spree after I just took out of town last week. So the man that we are, the type of man that we are, men are really competitive, right? Uh, and I'll take a shot to that. Men are really competitive, but these bitch niggas are combative. And when we deal with a lot of these niggas, a lot of my brothers, they or my cousins, they don't take it a certain way when I say this. It's you light-skinned niggas, bro. It's you mixed breed, honey skin, reposado skin niggas that
You may
believe that
understand.
you fit. It's the honey skin. It's these sweet niggas. These the niggas that I used to really tell nigga like, bro, I would kiss you in your fucking face. What you mean? Yeah, you a bitch. You started with me and I told you, nigga, I'll kiss you, bitch ass nigga. You soft as fuck. You blocked me after I told you. I'll come to your hometown. Now I kiss your lady. And then after I kiss your lady, I kiss your fuck ass on the cheek, soft ass, pie ass nigga. You blocked me. So don't start creating fake YouTubes to get on here, bro, to do that. That's not what I'm here for today. I'm here to teach. Miku, peace, great sister. How you doing today? And that's the energy I'm here for. Reese, Omi, those people that actually do the work. Reese learning how to do the work, getting his family together. He already here in Miami. We post the link up. I don't know. I be doing all type of shit, cuz I post a link with you. I'll family reunion later. Date tomorrow. P was good. So my work doesn't go unnoticed. Whether I'm blood, Nuwapian, Mason, those are attachments, right? Those are things that I've accepted. I was born an Indian. That's who the fuck I am. So who you are, not what you accept, literally details this. You are born your mother's child. You are born the nephew or the son of your mother's brothers. All of you are born from their mother, who was born from her mother, who was born from her mother. That's who the fuck you are. A 49ers fan, a Lakers fan, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Israelite, Cherokee, Washita, Wale, Yamasi, all of these are things that we've accepted as us, as cloaks to put over our body, when in reality, we're simply fucking human. There are a lot of people who don't know how to just be human. A lot of these niggas are bots. This is why, and this is what I mean by bots, right? If you ask someone, okay, a 24-inch gauge is to be divided into, somebody say, well, 3 even parts. Everybody don't live the same fucking 24 hours. So while we still have the same gauge, I may just divide mine differently. I may divide my gauge into 6s. Or I may divide my gauge into 2 12s. So a lot of you just don't know how to be human. You don't know how to speak to someone. You can't hold a fucking conversation to save your life. You sit in the house on your computer all day while your wife goes to work. You are a bitch nigga. Stop creating pages to come on mine and try to troll me. It's too much going on over here. You can't call me an ex-Nuwapian. I'm still Dr. York master student. I'm still a master student of the master teacher. I'm a master student teacher of the master teacher. Tell me I'm wrong. See, I will always be that. The difference is I'm not a follower. I used to be a follower of his. Why? That was the only way that I could break the spell, is by following the leader. Where is this going to lead me? I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust this process and see where it take me. If it wasn't for Nuwapu, I would know shit about Egypt. If it wasn't for Nuwapu, I would know shit about Sumeria. So what I'm telling you is there are different stages in life and different places in life that we need to be in order to make us whole. See, a lot of you niggas would have got pulled up on, and that pistol would have got put to y'all if it wasn't for Dr. York. A lot of you niggas would have got hands put on y'all if it wasn't for Nuwapu. My wife sat there and saw how Nuwapu changed me from a treacherous nigga to a god. And you can go look up the book From Niggas to Gods. It really was one of those transitions. But before I was Nuwapian, I was Indian. I was baptized at the age of 8 in the first grade. I'll toast to that. I was Indian then. So to play on the niggas was this, niggas was that, you enrolled 501c3. Nigga, we will never be the same, bro. Facts, niggas don't know how to hold a conversation. But you'll get on the internet though, and you'll make all these posts, and you'll sneak this, and you'll follow someone, and you'll DM people hoping to start a camp to go and get someone. You don't have the nuts to do that shit yourself. I'm the only child on this side, and I'm a fucking boy. You niggas ain't got the nuts to stand up on y'all own. A lot of y'all had big brothers and big cousins to come step in and fight those battles. A lot of y'all don't have y'all own feet. This is why you run the books and quote Europeans, and that shit look bad because you will quote one European that says, well, the Wale spoke the Creek language. And you ask them, well, did they speak that originally? You know, that person was exposed for, he said, yeah, he was exposed that he was lying. And he knew better. We're talking about a PhD holder from Harvard. Neither one of us on here has a PhD, but we all know that the Wale had their own language that is not to be considered or classified as Muskogee Creek, which only means that that PhD doesn't mean shit. You went to Harvard as a linguistic anthropologist and you failed when you got into the real world. So I don't care what your grades are in school. Now, real information. Let's get to it. Got that on the chest. Mont, Pa, y'all could open up. We could get a conversation going. If y'all got anything to throw out there, if there anybody in the chat, if y'all in the chat watching, please take this link and just share it to 2 people for me. That'll be more than enough. That'll help me out greatly because we got to rebuild this channel. And we also have the Iba'a X channel running too. So let me go ahead and drop that. I had the 2 minutes thing going. Pa, what's good? Talk to me.
Well, what's going on with you, nephew? I saw it. I thought that was old boy, you know what I'm saying? But you handled it, you know what I mean? And once again, because they got a PhD, they don't mean that they are intellectuals, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right?
gonna put it on that right there, you heard me?
Right.
So I yield the
Facts.
floor over to the rest of the nephews, you heard me?
Talk to me, Mont. What's good with you, Cub?
Hey, they hate to see us coming. That's all I got to say. They hate to see us coming. And then another thing, man. Every documented European that ever came over here identified the natives of this land as being dark or copper tone. So that's not digging into no lookology or anything like that, because I know that we know that there are different tribes, not just. But yeah, we know that there's different tribes out here and everything like that. So we gotta we gotta stop playing around. And then we got people out here that just think all African Americans come from Africa. So
Right.
we it's a uphill battle, but you know, we got proof though. So that's what I'm noticing out there in the world is lack of information and misinformation. It's a lot of people out there that think that they know what they're talking about. I just sit back and I listen and wait to build on it later, because I know that we got a different team of research, and what they bring to the table don't even come close to the works that we put in.
Facts, facts, facts. Who that? Oh, okay, okay. Let me drop this. Facts. Now, with that being said, right? Um, what we all understand is what a lot of people fail to understand is the nigga is universal, right? The nigga is everywhere, but the nigga comes in different different heights and sizes and shapes and tones and hair textures and phenotypes, right? So when they say nigga, this can be a spectrum. It's never one type, right? That's my whole thing with the lookology thing is it ain't about saying that there was niggas here or dark-skinned indigenous people here or those who look not unlike the Ethiopians or the Yamasi were pre-Columbian Africans or all of these different sayings, right? It's not that for me. What it is this using that dark skin to argue that you are indigenous because you got the paperwork. You have outside the paperwork, you got the stories and the blood that matters most. Paul has the paperwork. Outside of that, he has the stories and the blood. I can say the same thing actually for Reese and Crane, because they're on the panel. But how many people are using these images of dark-skinned indigenous people as their arguments to say that they are indigenous, right? And it doesn't go no further than that. To the point that I've seen someone say, well, the original Americans weren't Asian, they were Australian. And it's like, wait, motherfucker, if they not indigenous because they're from Asia, how are you indigenous and you from Australia? But they just looking at skin tone in order to push that argument. You get what I'm saying? If anybody actually break down what's really being said, they simply saying we was dark skinned and we were in the Americas before colonialization. Shit, that just make you indigenous to the Americas. That could be any fucking body before they got here. So my thing is, we know our tribal people were some of the darkest, and our father's tribal people were some of the darkest. Our mother's tribal people were some of the lightest of those darker people. But there are people who aren't Yamasi and who aren't Iba'a that are using our ancestors to argue their points simply because our ancestors had dark skin. I can't rock with that. And I see that often. And what it also comes with is let me toast to that. What it also comes with is uh it's like all of this is the Asian hate shit. You get what I'm trying to say? Peace, family. What's good? So it's like it's more of the Asian hate shit, right? It's like they're like, well, they're Asian, they're not American. We the real Americans, but we from Australia. We're the real Americans, but we're Olmec. We're the real Americans, but we're the real, excuse me, we're the real or the original Wale. We're the original Geechee. But bro, every bloodline you gave me come from outside the land. People have to stop using dark skin to argue that they're indigenous, and then using that same argument to argue against being African. Bro, it's literally the same shit. Dark skin don't make me African. So you post a whole bunch of dark skinned Indians as if dark skin make you an indigenous American. It doesn't. And you're wrong when you start to tell people they aren't who they say they are because of how they look. And you don't know shit about your tribe. Not a fucking thing. Most of the niggas on the internet that do what me and Cuz is talking about don't know shit about their grandma tribe. Niggas is now calling themselves fucking Tartarians.
Ain't that it, bro? And then not only that, man, I ain't, hey, I ain't gonna lie, like I said this on the phone to y'all, but like I said, they got up under my skin on TikTok. Boy, I dropped one name, boy, they ran with it. I resonate with so and so. Like, hey, bro, that ain't even your relative. How you gonna resonate with somebody that ain't even in your family? You know what I'm saying?
Come
How you
on
gonna
now.
try to tell somebody else's story when it's not your story? So yeah,
I call them TNTs because they say they Tartarians and they say that they are what's the other one? Tamari. They say they're Tamarians and
Hey.
Tartarians. So I call them
yeah,
TNT.
that's
That's a
why I say
dynamite.
that's why I say you don't even look. That's why I say you don't even look. They don't know linguistics, bro. So
Hey, Paul ain't no good, man. Hell no.
That's dynamite, bro. I call them TNT. They say the Tartarians and Tamarians. So they say the Tamarians and Tartarians.
Anti-terrorist.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
TNT. That's explosive. Dynamite.
They are just fucking retarded. Hey, it's all good. It's all good, cause every time I go to one of them meetings and one of them bills, and I go to explaining who we are, I let them know. If you hear somebody claiming to be this, and they say Tartarian, Atlantean, Lumerian, they ain't this for real, bro. This ain't them. Notice each one of those words I just said ends in the same suffix. What is that suffix? En, meaning a civilian or a citizen of. Hint, hint, this is Latin, right? Florida, Georgia, right? Alabama, South Carolina, right? When we go into the EAs, California, that's a state of. En is the state of the citizen. So an Atlantean would be someone speaking Latin saying that this person is a citizen of Atlant. If they were saying Lemurian, they would say that this person comes from the place that we found the oldest lemur bones. So we add IANEN, he is a resident of the place where we found the oldest lemur bones. Lemurians. Look it up. Lemurians literally come from um, water monkeys that were said to be lemurs and eventually became one of the root races. You can find this in Madame Blavatsky's work. I read it. This is the perks of being a Nuapian. See, niggas say, well, you're an ex-Nuapian. No, I'm not. I'm still that by study, not by belief or religion,
they
nor do
trap,
I
bro.
go any meetings or any of that. I'll always be a student of the master teacher. Always, always, always. You got me fucked up. I'm not, I'm like, what does that make niggas feel better? Like, oh, he's an ex-Nuapian. Okay, and you're an ex-employee. Like, you're unemployed.
Yeah, right there, man.
Hey, like I told niggas, man. Red Crane, I love you, cuz you did that saucy muck for me. I'm back on track. So I'm back. You feel me? I got more money in my savings than the nigga made in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So niggas better chill out. Stop commenting on my shit, man. Get your feelings hurt, bro. It's too beautiful. Uh-oh, I got one of my big bros in here. Atum, what's good with you, family? Or did he get the link? Let me see. Oh yeah, he got the panel link. So he might want to ask some questions or might actually have some questions about the Shata Ogla Pa. If you could answer those, that'd make a great conversation.
I'm trying to get them answered for me too.
Hey man, Reese, man, you Shata, bro. So
Hey,
just prepare
hey,
to
we
be on
gonna
that
have to
red
start
team.
doing that anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and be on that blue team, Reese. Man, I ain't talking to Reese no more. He's Shata, man.
What up, Reese?
What's good, Carl?
What's good, huh? I was trying to come see
Shit.
you. I've been all
Yeah,
around the
bro,
city
a
all so
nigga,
far.
I got this family reunion and shit. My wife them family reunion, so I don't even know when I'm gonna be free. Um, exactly. I'm gonna try to clear up some time. If not, bro, you will be there in Georgia, cuz don't worry. We only like 20 days away from that shit.
Yeah. Can't wait
Yeah, I'm
though.
Yeah,
leaving. I leave. I think Monday afternoons when we heading back.
yeah.
So I'm here
I
all day.
say,
I'm free.
lad, that bitch pouring down this shit. What you said, Paul?
Peace, Rob.
Who was that?
Back, bro. How you making, Chief?
Oh shit. Raw back. What's good, bit bro? Talk to me.
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Happy to be on the platform, man. It's been a long time coming, man, and now we here, bro. Damn, I got some questions though. Okay, I know everybody been keeping up with what Trump been passing, and I want to see your perspective on it. They got the birthright citizenship going on, which is basically saying we the indigenous people of America. What's your thoughts and views on that, brother?
Say that again. It's something vibrating. It's
Hold on.
messing up the sound. Something
Okay,
vibrating.
my partner calling me. What about now?
All right, I can hear you. So
Can you hear
give
that?
me yeah, so give me a premise or explain a little bit of it to me. That way I can have something to go by based off, what you were
Okay.
just saying.
Okay. He just recently passed a bill about birthright citizenship goes to the babies of slaves, aka um, basically acknowledging that we are the birthright citizens or the original indigenous inhabitants of America. And there's been an uproar amongst the Latino, the white families, what I'm saying, all that good stuff, all the foreigners that wasn't born here or came over here. And at the same time, this is something that Baba been speaking of, Noble Drop Lee been speaking of. All the scholars and master teachers in the past have been really, really driving this home, along with the drip demonstration, as well as stuff we've all researched and studied and know to be true knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So basically, um, now it's going to shift, and I think this reset is about to kick in, but also it's going to tap into the indigenous people, us,
Hmm.
true pure blood Native Americans, getting back what's ours, but we know it ain't gonna be easy, and it ain't gonna be without a fight. So I was seeing if anybody knew about this bill that was passed. I got knowledge of it yesterday, but we know Trump, he moves off leverage.
Yeah.
So at the end of
So
the day, it's a bill. I mean, it's something that we gotta be mindful of, but also I want to get everybody's thoughts and views on it.
Mercy, you can speak first.
I yeah, so I looked into the birthright citizenship. Um I'm not it could work in our benefits, especially for those of us like that been working on platforms to find out our original indigenous tribes and finding out exactly where we come from. So like when we up here doing our genealogy and not just leaving it where we're leaving it off with people's names, but actually finding out the lands and areas in which they were born in, like you'll start to realize where you the people that you actually come from, and that's gonna help us, those that are not trying to be federally recognized, but just seeking the acknowledgement of who we were before uh, so-called slavery and everything like that. Here,
Right.
chattel slavery here in the Americas. Once you're able to identify, like I just showed or told Lip last night about something that I had found out and just reading something that showed that I didn't even know there were certain acts that were in place during certain time periods that allowed tribes to have slaves as property. So some tribes wasn't even doing it from the get go. They wrote it into legislation once the Europeans got here and or influenced them. So there's things like that, documents that are out there for in place for that. So birthright citizenship is definitely going to be able to benefit those of us who are not seeking federal recognition, but just general acknowledgement of our families and where they came from.
Now, on my side, part, cause to touch on what you said, and this would be from the red side, so I know you'll understand this too. Um, Understanding what Cuz said works great with those who understand dual citizenship. If you understand dual citizenship, then that would it's not a bad thing. But there is something to look at, and this is speaking from vengeance. A Negro is a slave. A slave is a Negro. They're Indian who had nothing to do with Africa that were classified as Negro. So according to their system, that's still what you would be looked at because that's what you were classified as. Which is why you go back to what Cuz said. Once you do the work, everything I say don't even fucking matter. So the work has to be done. Where did my family come from? What did they say they were? And let me document that. And now that I have that documented, I'm gonna study the history of the town, the story of the town, and the story of my family. Where did they live exactly? How did they get that land when so-called Negroes couldn't have land? How many horses did they own? Wait, my family had horses? Well, the average nigga ain't had horses. My family had this much. They were from here. They did this at this time. That's how you bring that all together. From the disenfranchisement to what Cuz was speaking about, getting your family together, getting them recognized, and seeing that disenfranchisement and still doing your own.
Can I get some of that, nephew?
Go ahead. You know the elder got the flow.
All right. Now, I heard you bring up Noble Drew Ali, and that's a good thing because Noble Drew Ali said that the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment is not the salvation of his people. And what most people don't know is that those amendments were war amendments that was done after the Civil War. But what people don't fail to realize is how, this is a main question, and I want y'all to think about this. How can a capturer take those that he kidnapped and make them a part of his union? Listen to what I say. How can a capturer take those that was captured and make them a part of the union? People who fail to realize is that dealing with the Dred Scott decision, when Judge Chief Justice Taney has said that dealing with no matter if the Negro is free or not free, they'll never be a part of the Union society. And that was done in 1850, right? Also, dealing with the so-called 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, the Southern states in them knew that there was some bullshit. And this is how you know that they knew that the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment was some bullshit because they came and circumvented those amendments with the Jim Crow laws. So while the amendment said that you had the right to vote, the state and them came around and said, "Nah, motherfucker, you ain't got the right to vote because you are not you not intelligent enough," because they had to do the assessment test, right? To stop you from voting,
Yeah.
right? So they knew that the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment was some bullshit. But what people don't fail to realize is that they just talk about the Juneteenth and all like that, but they really don't know the significance of it. Because when they talked about Abraham Lincoln, did the Emancipation Proclamation, there was a blog talk show that I did with a brother by the name of Ramani L. The elder Ramani L, he actually had the Morristown School of Law out there in Baltimore. Okay, he actually showed where the 13th Amendment had the 20 original sections. But most people don't know about that. So what wind up happening is like he broke it down. He said what Abraham Lincoln did with the Emancipation Proclamation was took the Negroes off the plantation and put them under the federal plantation, thus making them, other words, second class citizens. Because why they need to give you citizenship? But see, most people don't go back and study world history because look what happened when the Romans had slaves. When the Romans had slaves and they emancipated them, they made them second class citizens. That's no
Okay.
difference, right? That's no difference.
Real.